so now I punch. Hey folks, welcome back. Today I'm going to be playing my Vladimir and Godfrey list. As always, we're doing more historic Brawl decks, and also I'm testing out my new microphone. So if anybody is listening to this, or if you're watching it, please let me know if the volume sounds good or not. It's probably going to take some tweaks, but hopefully it's an improvement over the old headset mic I had. And if it's not, then I wasted a non-zero amount of money on this. But regardless, we'll just get right into it. So, Vladimir and Godfrey, I'm going to say, to begin with, this deck is not very good. I don't think it's possible to make it very good. But we'll just go over Vladimir and Godfrey, and we'll jump into some games, we'll play them, and I'll talk about why I don't love this card, and why it's kind of a difficult commander to build around. But Vladimir and Godfrey is a 2 and a white for a 3/2 zombie knight. Its gimmick is rejuvenation. Basically, you can pay two colorless and a white. You return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. It perpetually gets +1/+1, but you can only activate this ability if you control a 1/1 creature. So the deck I ended up making for this, because I tried a couple different variants of it. Let me just bring this up. So far, I have not had too much success. Volume sounds good, that's awesome. I haven't had too much success with winning with it, but effectively, it's tribal knight aggro. Most of this is, we have a lot of sort of staple stuff in here. We have Esper Sentinel, because it goes into everything. We have Swords to Plowshares. We have Patchwork's Humiliation. And then we've got a bunch of smaller stuff, a bunch of knight creatures. The issue with tribal knights... So actually, let me just jump into this, and I'll show you why this deck is kind of difficult. I played a couple other lists. I tried a white weenie list. That did not quite work. I tried zombie tribal, actually. There aren't enough white zombies to make that function. And so then I've settled on knight tribal, because at least it kind of exists, which isn't fantastic, but at least it's not terrible. So the issue with... Alright, so is this keepable? Yes, it is, actually. So the issue with Vladimir and Godfrey is that, in theory, you would use this card, like you'd want it to die, and then you'd resurrect it, and then you'd do some more stuff with it. You just keep pulling it back over and over again, right? That would be sort of the design gimmick with it. In practice, the problem is, as a commander, this card doesn't, like, in terms of how big it actually gets, right? You need to have a 1/1 out. And that means you need to be able to consistently have a 1/1 on the field. Now, you can do that with, like, tokens, or you can do that some other way. Let's see, let's do that. I should have played Gates of the Citadel. We'll just go to combat. However you want to do it, the end result is that this card, it's difficult to get the trigger off. Even if you do get the trigger off, it's only 1/1 in stats. And since it's sort of your commander in the first place, it's not actually super convenient, right? Like, if you really wanted to use this card in, like, a normal deck, you could already regenerate it pretty much whenever you wanted anyway. So making it your commander basically just means, hey, this is in your opening hand. And that sort of brings me to the second problem, is that a lot of the time... Let's see, what's going to turn 3? Let's do Icon of Ancestry. We'll say Knight. This is going to demonstrate this right here. Usually weenie decks are... No, techs. Based around, to some extent, having the ability to pump all your stuff, right? Whether it's with artifacts or enchantments or instants or sorceries, you play things that are like, all of your creatures get +X/+X, or creatures you control get +X/+X. That's actually kind of anti-synergistic with Vladimir and Godfrey, right? Because you can only use their thing to return them from the graveyard if you control another 1/1. And the end result is that it's actually kind of... I'm just going to sacrifice this anyway, because it's going to die. We have settled the wreckage, so I'll probably pop that next turn. Yeah, because if I don't, I will lose the game. Next end turn. He'll get 1,000,000 land and be set and be able to play whatever he wants for the rest of the game. But, you know, life is full of disappointments. I'm amazed he actually accurately predicted that I had this in hand, but hey, that's how it goes. I don't think we're going to be able to get enough mana to play Ondu Inversion. So I made a lot of... we'll do Curse the Citadel. I could always top deck something, I guess. Let's say... I want to say Ishan, because I don't know what else this deck will be running. But hopefully this audio quality is a little bit better than it usually be. Yep, power word kill. Decline. And that's lethal. So that's kind of the thing, is that Vladimir's kind of a difficult deck to make a actually... Okay, dude, yep, we get it. Congratulations, you successfully did remove my artifact. But basically, the card's monocolor, so you can't build it effectively into tribal with the limited card pool that you have here. Its effect, even when you trigger it, is kind of minimal and isn't actually enough to like pull off a big win to any extent. And triggering it is kind of counter-synergistic. Who is it? Tiamat? Okay, so maybe I should not have kept this opening hand. I should probably do Ondu Inversion into Gate, into Vladimir, into hoping that I draw a... Yeah, I should not have kept this hand. I should have played the Gate. This is just not a very good card. Yep. I don't have any way to pass. Okay. I want to do Plains this turn. Yeah. I'll do Plains this turn. I'll do Plains into Solemn Simulacrum next turn. Then... Okay, so he's going to get his commander out in like one turn, which is... Okay, this is a what? A 7/7? Castle Arvindale. Do I need more land? Not really. I don't really need more mana either. But I need us to try to kill him before next turn, before he gets to play any cards, but that's really not happening. Let's do Champions of Tyr instead. If nothing else, that should make him pause for a moment, because even if he plays the Tiamat, which I imagine he will, like I can't think of any other card he's going to drop. So he'll play the Tiamat, and we will be hosed. No, okay. That actually did slow him down slightly. Cool. Enchantment, artifact. Dragon spells cost less. So, I don't have access to Farewell yet. How do I want to do this? Tiamat's a 7/7. He won't be able to play any of his other two. Okay, next to combat. All attacks. I can't do that yet. Whenever you cast a creature with power 7, deals 4 damage to each opponent, each creature, and each planeswalker they control. So I can't stop him from doing that. I can't buff that big enough for it to matter. Let's do this. Doesn't matter much. Go grab a Plains. Yeah, I guess I should have done Solemn Simulacrum to get rid of Sarkhan's Unsealing, but I don't have... Oh, I see no reason to... Well, end turn. He'll wipe my board, right? Yeah. He'll do Sarkhan's Unsealing. Okay, wait, did he just screw this up? I think he did. Yeah, because now he doesn't have mana to... Okay, so... Okay, and now I do... Exile all artifacts, enchantments, graveyards? He probably doesn't... It's probably not worth doing graveyards. Artifacts and enchantments. Yeah, I think this is the right call, because then I get like one more turn, and now he doesn't get to wipe my board. Like, I'm still pretty hosed, but, you know, there's a chance. The issue is that now he can just recover, like, his entire hand, and I have about one turn to try to play as much stuff as possible to stop that. And I need to run everything that I have directly into his face. Let's do... Hedron Archive. +2 in Vigilance. That doesn't help me at all. We're just going to play Champions of Tyr. And we're going to attack with both. He's going to block the Champions of Tyr. Yep. He'll probably do Miriam the Sentinel Worm. So I do have N out, right? Otherwise I wouldn't be playing this out, and I can try. It's actually a pretty cheap one, and I think I can draw like 3 cards next turn. Yeah, still it's pretty. Well, no blocks. It's still there. It's not great odds, but it exists. Okay, so come on. Ascend from Avernus. Does that do enough for me? Absolutely not. Nope. Does he have lethal? Yes, he does. Can I do anything about it? I think this is technically my best chance for anything. Is if he does something incredibly stupid, plays Terror of the Peaks. No, he's still got lethal either way. He just has to attack. But seven, 10, 10. What if I block 10? That's still... I can block 6, that's 16 and 17 past to blockers. Like, I'll play it out. I'll try to do everything that I can, but that's just not going to be enough. Alright, we'll play a couple more games. Honestly, usually I try to go for at least one win on stream whenever I play these decks, just to show what the deck does. The reality of it is that these games are showing what this deck does, and what this deck does is it loses. It is not the best deck I've ever made. But, you know, that be how it be. I'm glad the new microphone at least is working out. I would have liked it to be on like a, oh man, I got a new microphone and this cool deck. But hey, if nothing else, it's a good audio test. I can listen to this. Probably won't post any of this to the subreddit, not much point. Okay, Heliod versus... This is going to be a good example of like what the Oh, actually, this is not a terrible opening hand for the Heliod matchup. I will keep this. Authority of the Consoles. We have Forsake the Worldly and Thraben. So the issue is that the deck's kind of counter-synergistic to itself, right? Like, white weenie decks like to play spells that buff things up, right? in order for Vladimir to be itself to be like some sort of big threat, it would need like more keywords. For example, if Vladimir and Godfrey had trample or something like that, I feel like it would be a lot more successful. But the issue is if you're trying to build like a big spread of 1/1 creatures, which is what you need in order to actually use. I wonder if I should get rid of that. It's a big engine piece. I'm going to remove that. So in order for it to be successful, what it would need is just... It would need Vladimir and Godfrey to be a little bit stronger, right? If they had trample, that would work. If they got a bigger buff from it, right? If they weren't mono white. But the issue is that they don't get big enough fast enough. And so you end up running a white weenie deck that doesn't want to run big white weenie support. I'm going to exile Heliod and make him play it again as soon as possible. At least in my mind, that's what it would need, right? Because otherwise, it's a slow combo, right? It's 3 mana each time to bring this card back, and the card itself is not super great. Okay, yeah, he's going to force me to get rid of Authority of the Consuls. That makes sense. I will... What will I do here? Destroy all creatures, destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Let's say white. This card just doesn't work well as a commander. It doesn't do anything when it hits the battlefield. Like, it would probably work well in other commander decks, right? But it's one of the perpetual cards that just, it's not fast enough to enable a strategy actually based around itself. Let's see. Okay, let's play this. And then the other thing about it, right, is that the tribes it supports, right? Like, let's say we wanted to do something with it for zombies. If it was, for example, black-white, right? All of a sudden you have a zombie that you can pull back from the graveyard really easily. Now, most zombies and zombie supports are going to be like 2/2s and stuff like that, but you could still find 1/1 zombies and stuff like that to tick into it. But that's still just not quite there. So, also the fact that I just lost one of my very big, like, semi-win conditions is not great. But, nah. I'm going to blow up his stupid... But that's sort of my thoughts on what it would need to actually succeed. It needs either more colors, or it needs to be able to be a little bit more functional as a card. Let's do this. And I'm going to blow up your Heron of Hope. I think it would be... Target artifact or enchantment. Yes, I will return back Circle of Loyalty. Thank you very much. Alright, let's see if we can try to turn this here. That has flash. Whenever you cast, that's just whenever... Destroy target artifact, enchantment. Which one do I want to do here? I'll just wait. I'm going to wait. And now. Destroy target artifact. Destroy target enchantment. Target player gains 3 life. Target an artifact. Target an enchantment. Target a player. Let's play that. Then we'll do Circle of Loyalty. These don't have vigilance, so... Right now his main engine is going to be Hallowed Priest. I don't know if I can butcher him down before he makes Hallowed Priest big. Here's what we'll do instead. I can flash that in if I need to. I'm going to try, though. Like, right now I do technically have the cards in hand advantage. What are his bombs going to be? Not approach the second sun. What's that curse called? There's a big curse. 4-3. Yep, come on, go to combat. Yep. Gotcha. Okay, cool. So now we're in a decent position, because at least we're both top decking. And I have slightly stronger board state, so we might actually be able to win this one. Okay, yep, now I'm in a very good position. So we'll do that. And we'll do this. And that's a 3-2. What's that? Oh, yeah. Okay, so now I have decent board presence. I might be able to actually win this one. If he resets the board, then I'm pretty hosed, but... Ah, man. Oh, I guess that is only as a sorcery, so that probably makes sense. Do I have lethal? I think I do. Let's just go to combat. Good game. Alright, so I actually did get a win with it. But as you saw, right, that win wasn't really reliant on Godfrey and Vladimir doing anything, right? It was just the rest of the deck working well. Which is kind of the problem. Like, the Knight Tribal thing kind of did some stuff, but... Weenies likes buffing everything up. What else could you change about this card to make it good? You could make, if it was just, only activate this as long as you control a creature, instead of a creature with power, toughness 1/1, would make it much better. Is this keepable? I don't have much choice, because Miriam is a deck that will butcher me if I don't keep this hand with Fragment Reality and Swords to Plowshares in it. So, let's go for it. And really hope I draw another land. If I draw 2 more lands, then we'll have Planar Cleansing on 6 to get rid of the first Miriam, which would be good. But we'll probably have to use Fragment Reality on a Mana Rock or an enchantment artifact on 2 or 3, which will kind of limit how much we can actually get done with this. Alright, out goes that. Alright, so now we've got 3, which is good, because then at least we can do Vladimir on turn 3 and start chasing. And force some level of response. What's he gonna do? Come on. Arcane Ring. No? Okay. Oh, we have an actual board wipe. Okay, so now we're in a... We just need 1 more land. This will probably get... I'd be very surprised if he's holding a counterspell for this. Burn spell? Maybe, but counterspell probably not. Gate to Mannerborn. This is a very good card for just being a rare. Ooh, what's he making a copy of? I don't like that. This could be interesting. This looks like an interesting version of this list. Alright, let's do... This is easy. Miriam, Sentinel Worm. And I'll keep the rest of these other 2. Go to attack. And turn. One thing I haven't tried doing is fragmenting reality on myself to get, like, value into dodge spells, but that's probably not worth it most of the time. We'll just keep punching him in the face and see what happens. Resolve. Goodbye, Jade Orb of Dragonkind. That's way worse for me. Goodbye, Reality Chip. And now I'm out of removal spells. Alright, and I don't have... One more land would do a lot for me right now, but let's just go to face, because I don't think he's actually going to block. I think he wants to play probably a 5-drop. He probably has the dragon that generates treasure in hand. What is it? Goldspin? Goldworm? That or he didn't actually read what... No, okay, he's just mad. He's just going to keep ramping. That's probably fine. Professional Facebreaker. Now, the right choice... Yeah, okay, so he's going to go for face with that. I need one more land, because then I can just reset the board with Day of Judgment. And then I can Hedron Archive into setup for the rest of this. But without that, I'm going to be kind of stuck, because I need to reset him. Okay, there we go. Let's do that. Do I do Hedron Archive? If I give him one turn... I'm going to make a risky play here. I'm going to do Hedron Archive this turn. And see what happens. That might have been a mistake. No attacks. Now what I'm hoping is that he commits to play Miriam this turn. I'll keep the Curse of Silence out, wipe the board, send it back to the command zone, and then he'll have to switch over to using other dragons. But we'll see. Because right now he's sitting on 5, 6, 7. He's sitting on 8. He can play Miriam if he wants to commit to it. What I'm trying to avoid is using Planar Cleansing until I absolutely have to, because I'll have to give up the Curse of Silence and the Hedron Archive. Hedron Archive I can sack beforehand, but Curse of Silence, I don't really want to make it any easier for him to play Miriam at all. So I'd like to keep this out as long as possible. Not long enough that I actually, like, start to lose, but as long as possible. Let's see if he plays something soon. It's taking a while to figure out what he wants to do. I'm assuming he has bigger dragons in hand, but he's like, no, I don't want to play them. I want to get copies of them with Miriam. Okay, yep, there's Miriam. Okay, so I'm going to... So if I reset this... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Okay, let's sacrifice... I am going to sacrifice Curse of Silence now for the free card. Because we're going to reset this, and Miriam will then be a lot more. Okay. Do I have any 2-drops I can play? No. If I play Lantern of Revealing... No, I can do this. I can play Lantern of Revealing and then play the board wipe. So let's do that. Are you really running Spell Pierce? Because I'm very surprised if you are. Okay. Now, if he Spell Pierces this, then I'm in a really difficult situation, because I have to try to Planar Cleanse. And if the Planar Cleanse doesn't go through, then I lose. Because he'll just have incredible board state. Okay, cool. So that resets that. Yes, move back to the command zone. And that's back at 8. We'll try to Solemn Simulacrum into Circle of Loyalty, probably, or Sworn to the Legion. This would be a really good combo if I could get it off. Making a bunch of okay, Augur of Autumn. Okay, so he's very low on land in hand, I think, is what that tells me. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to play this turn, because I want more. Yep. Search your library for basic land. Yes. Next, end turn. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want to get as much out of these other... I thought I blew you up. Oh, no. Okay, that's what he cloned a copy of earlier with holographic double. Interesting. Maybe I should hold off on Sworn to the Legion then. Okay, yeah, we're going to hold off on Sworn to the Legion. Decline. One blocker. Since we're not going to play Swords of the Legion for a moment, we're just going to take the free card. Okay. We are going to play Vladimir to give the impression that we're setting up to block. And we can get one more Chain of Lantern of Revealing off. But I want to keep these in reserve for as long as possible, because when we play the Planar Cleansing, we're going to lose everything else. Maybe I should have sacked the Hedron Archive last turn. One, two, three, four, five. Yep, he's playing all the stuff. That is technically what I want. Let's go take action. Yes, I'll put it onto the battlefield tapped. Destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, target player gains 3 life. I want to wait one more turn. Play Miriam. Play the Miriam. You know you want to. It's just 8 mana, buddy. Come on, what's the worst that could happen? I couldn't be sitting on another set of board wipes. Okay, that's a bit of a problem. That's 6 and 5. That's not lethal yet. Okay, now I'm going to have to do Settle the Wreckage this turn. Now, the correct choice here, friend, is Inferno of the Star Mount. Because if you do that, and I don't... Or you could do that. Okay, so that's actually not terrible, because I'm planning to do Settle the Wreckage, and that only gives him 2 more land versus the 1 billion more that he would have gotten otherwise. But that does mean I will spend 2 board wipes to do this. Yep, that's fine. Okay. Sack the Hedron Archive, get 2 cards. And then we will... Do I really need to Settle the Wreckage? All attacking creatures. So he'll get 3 more lands off this. Yeah, I gotta. Though I might see if I can hold off on one more turn before I play the board wipe then. I don't think I can afford to. I think I have to re-wipe it and just try to go on the offensive again. Oh. He's mostly out of... This is not relevant right now. I'm going to cycle this real quick. Alright, so now we've got that. That could be interesting. Because now it looks like I've committed to making some sort of offensive move. We'll see if it baits him into... Okay, yep. Yep. That doesn't have reach. Okay, you'll get a lot of treasure. Now, are you going to use that treasure to do something? You have the mana. There we go. Okay, cool. This is what we want. This is how we want it. Okay. So there's no purpose in not taking the free offensive and trying to hit him in the face before we lose the board state. So let's go for that. And we'll hit him for a little bit of damage. And then we'll try to use Planar Cleansing to reset the board. Oh wait, we're going to take... Oops. Interesting, he's choosing to block that. I'm a little surprised. He probably thinks I have a pump spell in hand. You are partially correct, except instead of a pump spell, we'll add one white, and we will reset the board again. Yes, I will return you to the command zone. I will put you back into my library, and we'll play Youthful Knight. That's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, cool. 9. He needs one more turn to do that. So next turn we'll key to the archive. That's not good. Never mind. I top decked the answer to it. Okay, and he pulled out another one. That is just treasure tokens. That's actually not enough to completely, instantly end me. Do I have anything really good in the graveyard that I want? Not really. All right, circle. Let's do key to the archive. We're gonna go try to find a. Target, nope, Doomblade. And we'll give up Shining Armor. We'll play Circle of Loyalty. And there's no reason to not attack with this, actually. This is still really bad, but, you know, it could be completely awful. And we have the Doomblade, so he'll only get like 1 billion treasure and 1 billion mana to spend. But I was really hoping for Approach of the Second Sun, because that would have given us a win con. Okay, he only got 5 more mana off that, which, you know, that's a lot of mana, but it's a lot less mana than like all of it. 5. Alright, yep. So, how do we do this? We'll do this. Doomblade to get rid of that. If I do Sworn to the Legion, I can't pop the Soon's Intervention to save myself. If I do this, I also can't pop Soons. I'm gonna try this instead. We'll see. Next to damage. Do I think he has 2 damage in hand? He's already played most of his big hasted dragons. I'm gonna take a risk. He probably does have a way to get 2 damage, and the odds of him having that in his deck in a burn spell are really good, but I need to try to do something. I need to take a risk at some point and just trying to hold on. He will win the super long game. That's 5 down, he burned, so he's still at 10. He can still play Miriam. I have a decent amount of stats that'll be swinging into him, though. He'll have to block some of them. I think he'll probably play Miriam. Miriam's what, 6/6? So Miriam... No, he's going to play this. What do you do? Okay, you generate 8 billion 1/1 counters. Duly noted. And you're a 7/7. That's a problem. I have 9 to buy with. So you get an on-land permanent, destroy target artifact, enchantment, target player gains 3 life. Even with 3 life, that's not enough for lethal. If I play this, I will be left with 1 mana short. No, I won't be. Okay, yeah. We do this. If his last card in hand isn't some form of counterspell, I haven't lost just yet. Sworn to the Legion into play. Next to combat. Alright, I now have the copy of Cavalier of Dawn. He has to block one of them, I think, right? Yeah. Yep, okay. That's an interesting blocking choice, though. Because that will trade. Okay, so he's gone... Okay, so he said he realizes that it's trading either way. So then I think he's just stalling for time. He's just going to trade too. Nope, heroic... Okay, there we go. Yep, heroic intervention. And now I can't win. Because I can't kill either of his... Take action. Okay. I'm 1 off. Even if I had 3 more life, that wouldn't do anything for me. I don't have flash, so I can't play that in a way that's going to be meaningful. Neither of these have reach. Very good. Yeah, he wins, I think, off that. Do I have any other draws or outs? I may as well bluff it till the end. I have 1 card in hand that he doesn't know what it is, so we'll play it out. We'll see how that's going to work out. I think he'll just go to combat, and that'll be game. Alright. Let's get back... Hedron Archive, on the off chance that he somehow messes this up. And that's lethal. Alright. That was a good game, at least. We almost had it. I think that probably not playing the Sworn to the Legion earlier is part of what did me in there. But again... Note that even though that game was close, Godfrey had basically nothing to do with it. How long have we been playing? Let me just check the stream settings. We'll do 1 or 2 more games. I think it's just about 8. Excuse me. Ooh, wait. I haven't played against this deck before. We have a mana rock. We have board wipes. We have nothing that helps me in the early game. What is this? Okay, so this... Okay. Razaketh the Foul-Blooded. 5, 3 black, for a total of 8. Flying, trample, pay 2 life, sacrifice another creature, search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, then shuffle. Interesting. That will probably be a problem. But what I'm curious about is that means this is a mono black deck, and he's running an 8-drop commander. Oh, is this Shadowborn Apostle? Is this a Shadowborn Apostle deck? No. Okay. It doesn't look like it. Alright, so let's do this. Vladimir and Godfrey. Fragment Reality. Sorry, mate, but I'm not going to let you ramp. Static Awakener. Yeah. Okay, so he does have 1/1s. So is this a Sacrifice Engine deck? I think it's a Sacrifice Engine deck. Okay. Circle of Loyalty. Go to combat. So then if it's a Sacrifice Engine deck, he's probably running Dark Ritual. So maybe he's going to try to Dark Ritual next turn to get his... Nope. Okay. So it's going to be like black. Yep, I'll put you back in the command zone. We'll keep our board wipes. Whenever you cast a legendary spell. Yep, alright. Hey. So I think is black usually has some difficulty with artifact and enchantment removal. I say right before he says the thing for enchantment and artifact. All right, so I'll remove that for an enchantment and a planeswalker. Yeah. All right, acclaimed contender. Wow. Those would have been good cards, but I can't actually use either of them. Alright. Let's see if he's going to block this. I think he knows what he's got in his hand. Do I play Vladimir and Godfrey next turn? Probably not. Okay. Now that's a problem. Let's do... Okay, so he can block with both of those. That'll go up to 3. -3, he'll be able to create 2 more. I don't love that. For each non-token creature you control. Let's do Griff Rider instead. Yeah, he'll have to block with 2. Maybe I should have gone for a face, but he would have still been able to block. Next turn, so we have 6 mana, so next turn will be Lena. We'll get a bunch of 1/1s, and then we'll try to just sweep him down. He's not running Snowlands, so even if he's running the black board wipes, he's not running Blood on the Snow, which means he can't quickly resurrect somebody out. Archfiend's Vessel, yep. I think Lena is definitely the right choice for next turn, because we can pick Lolith and then just swing everybody else into the face. Okay. One, two, three. We'll have to wait until he actually tries to destroy something. But we do have the ability to protect our stuff, so he's gonna have to have like 2 board wipes, I think. Well, it's just a very strong card. He gets played in so many decks. Oh, yep, and he'll concede. I think he just doesn't have the answer for it. Alright, I wonder if that's a good place to stop for today. Part of me is like, yeah, that seems like a good stopping point. I don't think we're gonna get any other wins with this deck. it kind of just gets thrashed around a lot most of the time. I did try some other, like I said, I tried some other variants of it. I tried just actual white weenies to take advantage of Godfrey's ability. Didn't really work out. So that means what brings us to the last part of this. Let me just pull that up real quick. Turn on studio mode. Tier list Balder. Oh, I really need to set this part of the stream up in advance. So we'll rank where Godfrey falls as a commander. But first I need to quickly get a screenshot of it so I can add it to the tier list maker. And while we're doing that... But yeah, so that's Godfrey. I feel like this is probably a better card in other white weenie decks, right? Where it can actually sort of serve its purpose of being a long-term threat. But as a commander, it doesn't offer enough, and trying to build around it is really tricky. And at the same time, even if you do build around it and get its abilities off and get the triggers off, it doesn't do enough, right? The stats aren't big enough. The fact that it doesn't have trample or death touch or some sort of like other thing means that your opponent can kind of just ignore it most of the time. Let's see. And I think that that's probably why it's not a big enough threat for the amount of mana that you have to spend to use it. Let's see. Nope, I just want my silly photos. Let me just grab that. Grab that. Open up that. Open up that. All right. And time to transition over, turn off studio mode. So yeah, where am I going to rate Vladimir and Godfrey? It's tricky. This is definitely one of the worst cards in this. So just comparing it to other stuff, right? The other sort of alchemy-only commanders, it doesn't do something when it enters the battlefield. It doesn't offer some sort of powerful removal. It doesn't offer effects that you can repeatedly put onto other cards, right? So it's not like Lulu in that you can use it to buff itself up. It just buffs itself. It doesn't buff itself up by a lot. It's monocolor. So we're looking at either D or F tier. Now, Rasad got D tier because at least it's some form of temporary removal. Gorion gets D tier because at least it's 3 colors, even if its build around effect is pretty bad. Kalem gets D tier because it's at least kind of interesting and it's just a chonky boy. I think Vladimir and Godfrey gets to go into F tier. It doesn't offer enough. It sort of plays anti-synergy to what White Weenie wants to do in terms of activating its own ability. And it doesn't have any special thing about it that you can use to any great extent. There aren't enough white zombies to be like, I'm going to build actual white zombie tribal around this somehow. There aren't enough knight support cards. There's only like 4 or 5 of them to be able to build knight tribal to an active extent. And as a result, it's just sort of a mediocre off-color commander. It doesn't do too much. So that's where we're going to put Godfrey for this. Either way, that's where I'm going to end the stream for today. I will probably be doing more of these as I usually do next week. And I also might be streaming, Dead by Daylight Hooked on You, the visual novel tomorrow, because I promised I would to somebody, and I'm sure I won't regret that because that won't be stressful. If you like the stuff, please don't forget to lick the scrib and all of that. If you've got comments or feedback or whatever, just, comment on the video. If you have, specifically, if you're like, oh, the audio's too high, audio's peaking or whatever, stuff like that, please let me know because I am trying to figure that out and troubleshoot that. And with this new microphone, that's all I've got. So until next time, take care.